Well, hello and welcome to another edition of 907 Sports, where it is all Alaska all the time over here. Jordan Rodenberger calling the plays in this one. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, our streaming platforms, or maybe you're watching this later on alaskasnewssource.com. Either way, no matter how you're watching, want to welcome you into another edition and welcome you into summer finally here in the South Central, as we are at the end of July already. But as anglers know, that signifies the start of the silver salmon run, and I was able to stop by a couple of creeks in the Anchorage area to see how folks were doing during this early portion of the coho run.
Woo! That is what we're here for, folks. The cohos have finally showed up, man. It is a rite of passage in the summertime. It's beautiful. Not only did the cohos show up, but so did the beautiful weather and the sunshine. Summer is finally here.
And it's about time as we near the end of July, the in-between period of the salmon season, with king harvests closing mid-July and the coho run just starting to make a splash.
We're just waiting for those silvers to really come in strong. Right now it's time for silver season. Kings are done and we're really thinking about silvers.
While anglers are thinking silvers, many are catching and releasing pinks, but that's okay because it still beats fishing in most other places.
Like, I live right on a river in Montana, and we only have trout, so it's kind of nice to catch like bigger fish on the river like this. I didn't expect it to be so busy though.
But it's always busy at Ship Creek, the popular and productive fishery near the Port of Alaska, where many out-of-state visitors stop to watch Alaskan salmon fishing live in action right near downtown.
It's a spectator sport down here, these silvers this time of year. It's fun to sit up on the bridge. You watch people kind of pointing the schools of fish out, where to cast, how to reel. They get into it just as much as the anglers do down on the water. The silver's right behind there, okay? Just let it float.
Remaining in town, Campbell Creek runs right through the heart of Anchorage, but provides a different fishing experience.
There's a great map in the regulations book that you'll definitely want to check out for before you head to Campbell, because there's some open areas, some closed areas, some trout only areas, catch and release, but the map lays that all out really nicely. And that's not tidally affected, but you're going to want to watch the water levels. The coho tend to come in when we get a little bit of rain.
Venturing a little further towards Girdwood lies beautiful Bird Creek, which is tidally affected like Ship Creek, so tide timing does matter, which you can find online.
Fishing that incoming tide is going to be your best bet, so waiting for about 3 hours before high tide, 2 to 3 hours, to make sure that you're following those fish in.
Different creeks with different methods, whether drifting cured salmon eggs under a bobber, tossing spinners, or using pixie lures. No matter where or how you cast a line, you'll likely run into some fish and some families.
Lots of folks down there, lots of families, lots of young kids down here bending rods, hooking fish, and having fun.
Always a great time, and silver salmon limits are currently 3 per day and 3 in possession at all 3 of those creeks. And remember, no matter which of the 3, no king salmon that season has closed. And the silver run is really just getting started, so there is still plenty of time to get out there if you want to test your luck there. All right, now switching gears to women's and girls basketball in Alaska, which is currently in great hands. Fairbanks' Ruthie Hebert in her 4th year in the WNBA. We got Anchorage's Alyssa Peely starring at the Division I level for Utah. And what a career we just saw from Savia Sellers at ACS, the state's all-time leading scorer in girls basketball as of this year. And the next big thing out of girls basketball in Alaska stands 6 foot 4 inches in Wasilla, Layla Hayes, taking advantage of an out-of-state tournament that may have changed the whole trajectory of her career. Although she's alone in the Wasilla High gym, all eyes are on 16-year-old Layla Hayes.
It's slowly starting to sink in. It's exciting, but it's still a little bit surreal.
And it seemed to happen in the blink of an eye. After her performance at the Nike Tournament of Champions in Chicago, the Division I offers came rolling in from some big-time programs and even from the likes of the University of Tennessee, a legacy school with 8 national championships. The offers all coming within a matter of days.
I got teary-eyed, so my mom starts to cry after every single one of them. So I got excited, some of them just don't feel like after the call, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually happening. Definitely such a new process, so we're all just kind of pumped to see what happens.
Not even a junior in high school, Hayes, standing 6 foot 4 and growing, still has 2 more years to grow off the court and make a collegiate decision, but she knows what she's looking for in a program when that time comes.
My biggest thing, I think, is just finding a family, because I'm very close to the people around me. They're very important to me, so I know anywhere I'm going to go is going to be pretty far away from Alaska. So just being somewhere where I know that I feel safe and that they care about me as a person more than a player too.
Don't expect Hayes to transfer out of state for more exposure often seen in Alaska prep sports.
I don't know, the legacy that you can leave here is just amazing. This school is just has so much good history of basketball players like Bella and Alicia Devine, and I mean having an amazing coach, so just having that.
Just the beginning of something special sprouting out of Wasilla.
My dreams are coming true a little bit.
Layla mentioning that she does look up to all those women in basketball that I mentioned earlier, and like those women, she doesn't plan on leaving the state for that more exposure. And those off seasons super important here in Alaska to get seen by big time programs like you saw. Those were some huge schools throwing offers Layla's way. Still 2 more years for her to develop as well, which is awesome to see. Now, hours after our Athlete of the Week aired, we saw an Athlete of the Week type performance from another 16-year-old, this one in Eagle River in the Alaska State Legion Championship game. I am talking about Service versus Eagle River, a rematch of last year's state title game where the Wolves went back-to-back with a 4-3 victory, and the Cougars were looking for revenge but ran into the best pitcher in the state, the lefty Lierman. Just finishing his sophomore year, he was brilliant on the mound, could not be touched, throwing a no-hitter in the state championship. Pure ice in his veins as he struck out 6 batters across 7 innings, not allowing a single hit. The first solo no-no at the Legion tournament in 38 years. We're dating back to 1985 on that one. Shout out to historian Van Williams on that stat. But not only that, he was the only run of the game. He scored on a passed ball in the 3rd inning, doing it on both sides. They're really putting the definition of putting the team on your back. The Eagles pull off the rare 3-peat in Legion baseball, and it looks like they got themselves a little dynasty going on over there in Eagle River.
It didn't really start setting until about like the 4th inning. You know, I had to take a couple trips to the bathroom to just kind of like get away from everybody. You know, I didn't really want to be too much in the moment. And then I came back. You know, I started getting really nervous top 7. I walked that first guy and got that ground ball or strikeout. I don't remember which one it is. And then that line drive that Landon Hudson caught really was a breathtaker for me. And he got that double play, and I was so relieved. It's a lot of excitement. This team, we've all been playing together since we were 5 or 6, and it's just kind of our momentum's kind of been growing through the years. And you know, winning last year was really big for me, especially as being a freshman. And then this year, we just kind of had that mentality that we were number 1 and we were going to come back and win again.
Incredible stuff from Lierman, who also has 2 more years to continue making history. Now, before we get out of here, I want to share something that had happened recently that I wanted to share with you guys. We had an NFL legend playing on our golf courses. That's right, I'm talking about Terry Bradshaw, NFL Hall of Famer, taking part in this, the 7th annual Afognak Youth Charity Golf Tournament. Let's see if we get the video going here. Well, maybe not. Let's see. He doesn't want to show us his backswing. I mean, it actually did not look bad for his age, but maybe we can't get it out. Oh well. Some technical difficulties here. Well, we had a good run while it lasted. Maybe I'll come back and show you that next week because, of course, we will be back at 9:07 Sports at this very desk. The Alaska Baseball League regular season wrapped up on Monday, so still a couple more days to go and check them out if you haven't already. I appreciate you tuning in. Apologies again for the difficulties, and I'll catch you next time.